With the adoption of a highly progressive system of administrative reforms, Morocco is well on its way to being one of the simplest countries to establish a company. Simplification measures are a continuous priority area for the state and political institutions. The steps for setting up a business, which can, however, be carried out simultaneously at the one-stop shop, are: Step 1. Obtaining the negative certificate. It all starts with the company name. The negative certificate is essential for the identification and registration of the company. After a period of 1 month, negative certificates not withdrawn will be cancelled. This also applies to negative certificates withdrawn and not filed for entry in the commercial register. In general, all companies are affected by the negative certificate. However, only individual companies that do not opt for a brand are exempt from this rule. The request for a negative certificate is made to the Moroccan Office of Industrial and Commercial Property (OMPIC), represented within the Regional Investment Center. As for the documents requested, they are not too complicated. It is necessary to present 1. A printed request to be collected from the Regional Investment Center. 2. A national identity card or passport. Step 2. Establishing the company's clauses of association. An investor cannot create a company without statutes. Indeed, this notarial deed is essential to determine the technical details of the said company. This legal information is to be defined with the help of a law firm in charge of the company's creation file. The bodies competent to draw up the articles of association of companies are law firms, trustees, notaries, lawyers, chartered accountants and legal advisors. Step 3. Preparation of subscription bulletins. The preparation of subscription forms or deeds of contribution concerns all commercial companies, particularly LLC companies. Like the clauses of association, this task should also be entrusted to law firms, trustees, notaries, lawyers, chartered accountants and legal advisors. Legally, only one supporting document is provided at this stage. It is the subscription form duly signed by the subscribers. Step 4. Blocking the amount of paid-up capital. A commercial company, in particular LLC, is first of all a capital company. This is why the step of blocking the amount of paid-up capital is fundamental and of great importance. Thus, the deposit must be made within 8 days of receipt of the funds by the company. A certificate of blocking of paid-up capital must be issued by the bank. Step 5. Preparation of subscription entitlement declarations. It concerns SAS, SASs and SCAs. Usually, trustees, notaries, lawyers, chartered accountants and legal advisors do this. But what are the legal forms of the declaration of subscription and payment? The legislator, who required the filing of the declaration at the court registry of the place of the registered office, fixed it as follows: 1. An authentic deed drawn up by notary public. 2. A private deed drawn up by the law firm. The ballots drawn up by the notary and the certificate of blocking of the bank's paid-up capital are the only supporting documents issued. Step 6. Submission of creation acts and registration formality. All companies involved in this procedure. The filing of deeds is done at the level of the Regional Tax Directorate represented within the Regional Investment Center. To do this, the same documents mentioned in the previous step must be submitted within 1 month of the Act, 30 days from the date of establishment. In addition, it is important that the lease agreement or deed of acquisition be registered within 1 month of its establishment. Step 7. Registration to the Patent and Taxed. The registration of the patent and taxed varies from one company to another. For individual companies, it is necessary to register for the patent, the IGR and VAT. On the other hand, commercial companies register for patent, IS and VAT. Registration is done at the Regional Tax Directorate represented within the Regional Investment Center. For the patent, the following documents must be issued: accreditation or diploma for regulated professional activities, The agreement in principle for classified establishments. The lease contract, the deed of acquisition or certificate of domiciliation, for all legal entities. Step 8. Registration in the Trade Register. All commercial companies are affected by this procedure. The application for registration in the Commercial Register is filed at the commercial court represented within the Regional Investment Center. Step 9. Membership of the National Social Security Fund (CNSS). All commercial companies must join the Caisse Nationale de la Sécurité Sociale (CNSS), which issues it with an affiliation number that constitutes administrative recognition of its identification, registration and affiliation to the scheme. This operation is free of charge, and is carried out at the level of the CNSS represented within the Regional Investment Center. Step 10. Official publications of the company's creation. In the past, official publication was done only in the official bulletin. From now on, it is possible to publish the creation in the newspapers of legal advertisements. All commercial companies must do so. Publication takes place in 2 stages, the first, in a journal of legal announcements, before registration in the Commercial Register, and the second, in a journal of legal announcements and in the official bulletin after registration. For other forms of commercial companies, publication in the journal of legal notices and in the official bulletin is made after registration in the Commercial Register. Advertising costs vary from one newspaper to another depending on the number of spaces purchased.